All right, well, up at the top of the map is our crazy mad scientist Terran player, but he's also a genius, but we call him Mr.
Byun.
There's his ear and the rest of his upper torso. And at the 2 o'clock position, in the blue, we have our Protoss player from the team FXO. He's going to need to be a wizard to get out of this one. He is
FXO Oz.
Or Oz. Depends. You say Oz, I say Oz. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Well, if you go to Emerald City, you want to see this guy, this little man's going to come out. He's going to tell you nobody know how.
He's going to be like, the wizard's not in.
You have to have ruby slippers.
That's right.
To get in there, and when he finds out that you have ruby slippers, he's going to ask you, why didn't you say so before?
He's like, that's a roach of a different color. I don't know. That guy was pretty awesome, I thought.
I love that guy. He's like my favorite character in The Wizard of Oz.
He had a good job, you know, just hang out at the gateway, meet people. Different gateway than in StarCraft, I suppose.
His job was just to lie to people, except someone who has ruby slippers. He doesn't even understand the powers of it.
I guess so. I think Oz is actually going to go for Nexus first.
He is.
Map, it looks
no,
like.
he's not.
Never mind, he's not.
Making his gateway at 16.
Wow, and a gas and a pylon immediately after. I think he was thinking of Nexus first, but then he saw the positions and changed his mind.
That's what it's looking like. Also, he's going to check for no gas here, and he sees no gas, and he was like, well, maybe if he has no gas where it cross, I'll do it, but it looked like that he definitely wanted to.
A little bit of indecisiveness, but that's understandable. Like like we said, he's fresh meat. He's new.
I think we're going to see him put a Nexus down after the gateway, though. It's going to be like a 1-gate Nexus before core build.
Yeah, seems that way.
And in fact, if Byun suspects this, he may try to block it with his SCV.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
And actually, no, core going down.
Oh, wow, so just kind of floating a good amount of minerals. He's like, well, you know, the SCV is here. He'll see me do it, you know. Trying to withhold information from Byun, but right now, you know, everything he's doing is just kind of a little bit late right now. So
yeah, and
I don't know.
It's going to basically be a 1-gate Nexus build with a little bit late of a gateway, but that's not going to make it any more difficult to hold because Byun is going for a 1 barracks expand, and he wanted to hide the Nexus, but unfortunately Byun sees it.
Yeah, Byun's so diligent with the scouting here. Really impressive. Second gateway on the way with the cybernetics score, just finishing getting that warp gate research immediately.
Yeah, a little bit weird on that time. He actually delayed his sentry a little bit by making that.
Yeah. I think it seems like nerves, actually. It seems like he's just a little bit out of sorts today.
It may be. It's very difficult to stay calm and collected when there's an SCV scout in your base. And even when the sentry gets out, if the SCV is far away from the gateway, it's going to take forever for that to get chased down. Looks like he is going to catch it, though, because SCV got lazy.
Oh. Zelt got some good cardio. He's going to go get his checkup later. His doctor's going to be like, you're so healthy. He's like, I know. I chase SCVs around the base all day.
His heart rate spiked when that sentry found him, though.
I know.
He actually died of a heart attack before the sentry killed him.
They're like, you need to be less stressed out about these SCVs. He's like, I know, but I can't catch them. They're just so fast. It's too early in the game for charge upgrade. I don't know what to do. So it looks like it might be a little bit more of a 4-gate timing. A little bit of a pressure like we saw last game.
I like that Byun's making a bunker. He's made his command center inside of his base. He's a little bit confused about what's going on. I think he knows the timings for Oz's gateways are a little bit weird. Yeah. I think we're going to see that same timing attack from Oz, though. His gateways are finished here. His warp gate research is getting pretty close. And he's just going to put on some pressure. If he sees there's no command center there, he's just going to be kind of aggressive, but contain his opponent a little bit as he starts stacking up. As you can see, he's already made a pylon there at the 3rd base of Byun.
Well, he can contain Byun.
Oh, the SCV comes in and sees everything, though. Waltzes into the main base while Oz's units were on move command. He sees everything.
I don't know. Byun's really good at that, too. For some reason, he just knows when he can just sneak an SCV into someone's base. It's always been like that.
Now, if Oz attacks up this ramp, I am actually just going to be a little bit baffled. There's no reason for him to try to break this. He's going to do it, though.
He's doing it.
I don't understand this decision at all. He's losing a sentry. Force fields at the ramp to stop the units from retreating, but that actually made no sense.
Yeah, that was Not the best idea ever. I think at this point it might be a little bit smarter to just try to set up some sort of light contain.
I think that's what his initial plan was, but he thought maybe he could break that, but there was no way he was breaking that. That was a full bunker plus way more units than he could have defended even if there wasn't a bunker.
Yeah. Now Byun's going into Ghost Academy after his third barracks instead of trying to go for a quick medevac or something like that. That'll be pretty useful for breaking out of this if it gets to that point. You know, one EMP can let your army break that soft contain pretty easily, but I feel like we're just going to see Oz go home pretty soon, actually.
Well, Oz is actually just playing really sketchy right now. Like, he's walking around, he got his units shot a little bit by the units on the high ground. He walked a little too close. You can tell nerves are definitely getting to him. This is his first time in Code A. He really wants to win. He's very, you know, Oz is the guy who comes to the coaches and the managers after the game and says, I'm really sorry I failed if he ever loses anything. And we're like, no, it's totally fine. Everyone loses sometimes. But he gets really stressed out about these kinds of things. He really wants to win. He wants to do well for his team. And I can tell he's really stressed out just by watching this. That pylon's going to get taken out, and that's going to actually supply block Oz. He's actually already supply blocked. He's about to get... He's going to need to make 2 pylons to get out of that.
Well, this is kind of a bit of a disaster right now for
It is
Oz.
a little bit of a disaster. The ghosts are out. Byun can safely move his command center down now. He can actually salvage both bunkers and do a little Marine King style timing attack. Yep. Oz has very few units, and he's really relied upon these sentries. He's got 4 sentries with almost full energy, but with those ghosts joining in the mix, EMPs are going to change everything.
Yeah, this is a pretty dangerous push. I mean, he's going to see it with his observer, so that's good. You know, he'll know it's coming. He's going to have time to sort of prepare, but this is such a deadly, scary push here. He is spreading his sentries out pretty well, though.
Yeah,
but
nice spreading on the sentries, also splitting his units in general.
If Byun engages correctly, though, he shouldn't have any trouble at all taking out this army.
Oh, I completely agree. He has stim, he has combat shields, he is going. EMPs, a lot of those zealots, another EMP goes down, some of the sentries, and only 2 force fields can be dropped. Probes coming off the line here, smart choice by Oz, but will it be enough? It looks like it just might be enough to hold a little bit longer, but he stims again. The probes stuck behind the stalkers, not able to participate. Mineral walks the probes through, and actually he may hold this a little bit longer, but he's losing a lot here.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of gathers. The one kind of weakness of this push that Byun is doing is that you have nothing to heal your units, so every stim makes your army that much weaker. So Oz does hold, however, he paid a big price for it. What's the worker count right now?
Right now he's actually up on workers. He's at 43 probes at 30 SCVs.
That's not bad.
38 SCVs. I said that so fast, sound like I said 30. Plus 1 weapons on the way. Byun, though, is going to have a starport with reactor very soon.
Yep.
But during all of this, Oz was able to squeeze out his Templar archives. He's got that done. He hasn't started Storm, but he's made several Templar. He's going to be using those to feed back medevacs most likely, and then making Archons, because he knows that the timing for medevacs is going to be very soon.
Yes.
He's actually got an observer following Byun's army right now, so he knows exactly where it is at all times until just got scanned.
You know, one of the kind of benefits of sort of this unfortunate play that Oz has been doing this game is that the timings are going to be all messed up for Byun. You know, he's not going to be expecting things at the proper time anymore. So that does give a little bit of an edge as far as that goes to Oz. You know, he might be able to surprise Byun a little bit with a few things now.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Byun is catching up in worker count very quickly, 47 to 49 workers right now. And Byun actually lost a lot of his units there.
Yeah.
So supply-wise, he's actually down on supply. Oz is at 93 to Byun's 86. Byun's actually gotten supply blocked several times in a row here. He's getting his Mobius reactor out. He's going to have a lot of EMPs soon. He wants to just continue to put on this pressure. He's going to probably drop and do some elevator tactics here a little bit.
Oh, is he going to pick up the units right in front of the observer? No, he's actually just going to kill the observer.
Oz knows what's going on now. His charge is almost done, and I got to say, Oz is actually taken a push that I thought was going to end this game and pulled just the right amount of probes and was able to hold it off.
Yeah.
And now is looking like he is putting himself in a pretty good position. His charge is done. His storm is finishing up. He's actually getting a warp prism right now as well.
Oh, that's exciting too.
And he's got a lot of energy on those Templar they never made into Archons, so he actually could do some storm drops.
Yeah, Oz is kind of recovering. I mean, holding a push like that too will give you a lot of confidence, you know? It'll suddenly improve your mood in the game quite a bit, so probably feeling a little bit better as well. There's a factory floating menacingly above his base, though.
And the warp prism is out. Is he going to pick up Templar in front of the factory? It looks like he is.
Wow.
Now, he may just be using this warp prism to protect the Templar from EMPs, because of course they cannot be EMP'd while they're inside of that.
Yeah.
That may be the idea behind this, but I think he wants to do a storm drop, but Byun's not going to give him any time. Here we go.
Uh-oh, he's
just using the prism to protect these. I love this choice. This is so smart. I was actually, months and months ago, I was like, why don't people use this to protect their High Templar? And now he's doing it. He's actually, since Byun is turning around, he's thinking about doing a Storm Drop. And just that Warp Prism alone is scaring Byun out of his mind right now.
Well, this type of thing is going to be something we're going to probably see a whole lot more once the patch hits and Warp Prisms have a lot more shields. But here we go. It's fighting time. Byun stimming up, trying to run away. And
these Zealots actually not engaging the best way.
Yeah.
And the Warp Prism struggling to catch up here. He's going to drop some of these Templar on the high ground. He wants to storm. Looks like he's getting a little bit closer. Nice EMP hits all of the units, and EMPs, but misses the Templar. They're picked up at the right moment. Is he going to get a nice storm off here? This could be ridiculously huge.
I think he will. Some decent storms, but hitting the Zealots quite a bit as well.
He actually is winning this fight. Byun doesn't have very many units left. Oz is going to win this game. He cleans up Byun's units, and now there's no answer for the Storms, the Zealots, anything. Storms on top of that bunker. Storms the SCV is GG.
Wow, GG. I'm a bit surprised, man. Oz pulled that out of a hat like any wizard would.
Yeah, man.
He is a wizard.
He just showed his ruby slippers.
I guess so. He was like, there's no place like Codes. There's no place like Codes. He wants to get there so bad.
He wants to get there. That was really impressive play. Yeah. And I can't stress enough how scared Byun was of the Warp Prism. If Byun had actually just engaged an army straight up, he would have been probably fine, but he kept backing up. He was like, the Warp Prism, the Warp Prism. He was so scared about it. He's like, I know there are Templar in there. I need to EMP it. He EMP'd when Oz was dropping the Templar, but it was a second too early, so the first Templar had energy. He lifted it back up again anyways. Didn't hit any of the Templar, so he wasted an EMP essentially. And that attack just had so many units, and Byun was like, I just didn't macro well enough. It missed a few depots, and Oz just suddenly beat him with superior macro and kept those Templar alive. Those Templar actually weren't even really necessary in that fight, but they scared him so much.
I was really surprised about, you mentioned it too, how Byun got supply blocked so many times in that game. That's very uncharacteristic of players at this level, and Byun especially. So I don't know, not the best game for Byun, after kind of a shaky start from Oz, and Oz definitely capitalized on that. Played really well. I mean, he had really good unit control in that last fight, too. I mean, Byun was kind of like all over the place, but Oz, controlled units like he should and got a pretty convincing win. So we are going to move on to Dual Site. That's going to be our third map.
The final set.
Yeah, it's a popular map for the Marine tank Raven as well. So is Byun going to pull out the build that every Protoss is afraid of right now? I'm kind of curious.
He might do it. Against the builds that Oz has been doing, it would work pretty well. Any type of fast expand build that doesn't involve checking before you expand, making sure your opponent isn't doing that, is pretty vulnerable. Any sort of skipping of robos, any sort of not getting robotic support bay, you kind of die, generally speaking. Unless you're Huck and you do something crazy and you hold it somehow.
Well, Huck is just Huck. He can hold things for some reason that no one else can manage.
He's like Atlas. He actually holds the globe.
That's right.
He's like, I can hold things. And no one else
he's been fly. That's why he's flying over the world. He's like, I just need to hold up this part for a little while.
Huck needs to change his idea to Atlas, man.
I guess
that would be cool. I don't know if people would really like that though, because Huck's such an ID that he's really stuck with for so long.
I think so.
If I were Huck, though, I'd be like, oh, Wolf, you're right. I'm going to change my name to Atlas.
Oh, of course. He's like, Wolf has the best ideas of anybody.
He's like, there's 2 statues of Wolf on Metalopolis. I guess I should listen to what he says.
Blizzard actually designed everything in the Terran army around Wolf. Oh. Hey, it's game time. Let's see what happens.